Phoenix, did you see the new setting set up? Back in the day.
Briefly, I don't want to give it away. Briefly.
So back in the day, do you remember what was the big controversy around Mortal Kombat, right? It was released on the Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Yes, the blood code and all that stuff. No blood, the violence, etc. And then Genesis had a blood code on there, Abacab.
That's right, Abacab. You're correct.
Abacab.
And we have done the opposite now with Wolverine. Ain't much for blood, gore, or cursing. Marvel's Wolverine includes violence visibility and profanity toggles via the game settings. So you can just turn off all the good things that make Wolverine.
Like Wolverine tickle people with his claws? Like what do you do there?
Well, the responses to this have been spectacular.
Giving them acupuncture.
Yeah.
He goes in.
This is my response to it right now. Like, this is Wolverine. Wolverine, okay, full disclosure, he is one of my favorite superheroes of all time. I love Wolverine, and I love Wolverine because he is a violent berserker rage beast that just tears through his enemies, and he is the best at what he does, and what he does is not very nice. I've also played the original, the other game that coincided with the X-Men Origins movie. I freaking love that game. I love how that game was actually better than the X-Men Origins movie itself, because you actually had Wolverine kicking ass in the game. The fact that they're going to neuter Logan like this is pissing me off, and it's going to piss off literally every true Wolverine fan out there.
Well, it is an option that you can just turn on or off. So
can I be the guy that everyone hates?
Shouldn't be an option.
You guys, the gamers asked for this when you started having this option for like mediocre, like not mediocre as in like the game itself, but like not very scary games. When you started getting that shit for Hogwarts Legacy and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, where you could turn off like the spider modes and stuff like that, it's like, well, what were you expecting? You already did it for like the pussy games. Now you have it for an actual violent game. Like, what are we doing? So you got what you wanted.
I do love this spider mode.
Whoa. Hold on. I don't think anybody asked for the
the little kids, the youngsters did. We're not the audience.
I gotta say, given that sweet baby Ink is ankles deep into this, has been ankles deep into this project, I'm not surprised that they're going to do something like this, along with all of the other issues that I've been hearing coming out of the Wolverine game, the running simulator, the following the ninja fart cloud when he's still right in front of you, and that's the only point in the game where they actually use his heightened senses. Like this, you can tell by all of news, all the clips. This just has sweet baby's stank all over the entire game.
So to be the guy that everyone's going to hate, I don't disagree with this move. Here's why. I'm thinking as a business, okay? As a business.
Okay. I know exactly where you're going with this, but
yeah, like you increase your audience, okay? So like if I've got kids and I want them to play, correct?
Yes, Phoenix. I am an adult, and the entire game is around a character that has claws and is an extremely violent character over here, right? The game does not look cartoony at all. It looks actually very hyper-realistic in this situation. As an adult who has children who plays video games, I don't think I'm going to buy that game for my child because it's not presented as a child game, right?
Yes.
It's not a game built. This is a ultra-violent. Like, this is not the arcade version of X-Men, right? There's blood and shit all over the screen. This is not bright yellow fun Logan, right, running around. Oh, okay, bub. This is dark, gritty Logan over here. So the idea of widening your audience, I could probably count on it, maybe
Think
5.
About streaming too.
Well, from a streaming perspective,
That's what I'm saying. It opens as a business. This opens up your opportunity for audience.
He does have a point with that.
How does it hurt you? How does it hurt you if you make it an option? Right?
Yeah,
I know I'm going to get shit for this. I'm just thinking as a corporation. I can eliminate it. That allows you to stream it. It allows you to play in front of your kids if you're going to be playing it. Because the game, I'm sure, is going to get an MA rating, right? So obviously it's not made for kids. However, that if you've got a kid sitting by your side and you're playing it, that you can do that without them being introduced to the gore. You can stream it. You can do all those things. If it's just an option, doesn't that open up your chances of making more money as opposed to if you eliminated that option?
I can see.
Go on, Amber.
Please, learn intellectual.
I was going to say, let me put voice to the line of thought, because in essence, you are both correct. So yes, if it is an option that you toggle off and it is on by default, then there really is no issue having it there. Having said that, the concern is not with the toggle itself. It is, okay, if you are going to take this ultra-violent, ultra-graphic game and add that toggle, where else have you pussied out? Because you've already pussied out by adding that toggle in and of itself in an attempt to increase your audience and increase the marketability of the game. So I am now going to question about what we could have had you fully committed.
So, okay, I agree with what you're saying. Phoenix, you're right. This game is rated M for mature.
That's what I would imagine. Yeah.
Right. For blood and gore, drug references, intense violence, partial nudity, and strong language here. Marvel, okay, you can see it right here, includes in-game purchases. Great. All right, so you got all these things. Now, going back to this toggle here, it says includes violence, visibility, and profanity toggles. Does it also include, I don't know, partial nudity toggles? Does it also include drug reference toggles? Because if those are part of the story, aren't you then manipulating the story? Let's just say some guy does a giant line of coke and as a part of the story, or he gets all coked up or something, or he's whatever.
This sugar is making me hyper.
Right? He's like, hey, all right. Or let's just say they include cigarettes as drug references. Are they just gonna have a guy going like this without cigarettes in his hand? You know,
I sure hope so.
Holding
why
a
is he
bread
putting
stick
his
instead.
Yeah.
Right. And people say, well, like, why would you be upset about this? Once again, I think Ember's right. This idea that you're talking about, this changes the character.
Oh, I get the upset. To be clear, I totally get that. I'm playing more a devil's advocate, just going corporate route of, all right, hey, listen, may potentially expand your audience. So I get it from their end.
And I appreciate the thought process behind that. Like, you want to try and, like, as a company, as a game company, you do want to try and to expand your audiences. However, how often does that work? Look at the games we're talking. Look at this game, with Wolverine game in and of itself. We're talking about a hyper-violent superhero, and the game has been marketed as a hyper-violent superhero game. That's been in all of the marketing, all of the advertisements, all of the gameplay footage has been a hyper-violent gameplay footage. How much are they expecting to expand their audience? If they have this toggling, what are they going to pick up? Maybe an extra couple hundred players, perhaps, because there's an option to toggle off the violence. When it comes to instituting these types of toggles, for some games it can make sense. Where you have a game where the violence, the drug use, the personal nudity, et cetera, where it's kind of like that borderline, where it's like right there in the middle, where you can kind of like take it or leave it, and it's not like an intrinsic part of the character or as an intrinsic part of the story. And so having a toggle is not really, will meaningfully be able to expand to other players in that respect. But when you're talking about a game with Wolverine, by having this toggle in place, you are not going to be able to legitimately expand this game to other players in the way that you're referencing, Phoenix, because there's not going to be any potential players or any potential buyers of this game who will be looking at seriously getting it because, I can turn the blood and the gore off. The only reason people are purchasing this game in the first place is because Wolverine is a berserker killing machine, and they're buying it because they want to see that. So I understand the rationale behind it, and it would make sense for a different game. It doesn't make any sense for this game because they're not going to be able to get that. I don't feel they're going to be able to get a meaningful increase of that audience like you're talking about.
It could be we also don't know if this is a hand-me-down from Disney or the powers that be. I don't know if that's part of the deal. Yeah. We don't know what the Marvel movies moving forward, if they're going to have Wolverine in it. And then let's say a year from now, Wolverine is in one of these Avenger movies or something like that. I imagine there's not going to be a lot of blood and gore there. And so a kid goes, there's a Wolverine game. And there's an opportunity from a parent to be able to turn off the blood. Like, I just see it as, how does this hurt from a corporation standpoint? That's my.
I feel like they should start doing this in movies, as a matter of fact. They should have the rated R version of Wolverine, and then they should have the PG-13 version of Wolverine, where instead of slapping a guy in the throat, maybe he just shows up and he gives them some flowers instead.
Well,
I think
in a weird sense, you kind of already sort of have this in that when you used to, at least back in the day, Craig, I'm sure you remember this, that when Die Hard would come on the TV, they would take out all the swear words and they'd say ridiculous things instead of like fuck, it would be like fudgesicles or whatever the hell it was. And that way you could watch the movie with your kid and you know that they're not going to really be showing a lot of intense violence. They're not going to show the sexual stuff, blah, blah, blah. There is your modified version of the movie.
They should start doing that for movies. They should start releasing those movies edited for all, just like that. Make all PG, rated R movies PG now, moving ahead. I'll tell you, the comments on this are spectacular, though. Carlos over here with 10,000 likes. Are you a pussy? No worries. Turn off everything that makes Wolverine with our toggles. I like this one. Ain't much for blood, gore, or cursing. Resident Evil 4 includes violence and profanity toggles via the game settings. Get Resident Good over here with your Super Soaker. Yo, this gameplay is awesome. This is the meme right here with the single button right here.
I thought that was mixtape.
Right. And Evan over here says, we have a complimentary name for the Marvel game terms. It's Kids Mode right here. Which is from an
to be clear, I just from my personal thoughts, I'm actually anti when they do the streamer mode in games where they turn off the music. I'm actually against that because again, from a corporation, totally get it. For me personally, which I'm differentiating from what I just said, I don't like that because that's not what the game was. The game was made with this music and this gameplay, and that's the way you're supposed to play the game, not some music that's now just generic shit to put in there. Like, you're taking away the artistry of what that game was as a package. So as a personal person, I totally get what you're saying. As a corporation, I understand what they're doing.
Right. Can I show you my favorite one that I literally laughed out loud, which is the only reason why I wanted to talk about this story?
Yes.
I'm not even going to read it. This has 2.5 million views on it. Oh, it's so good. So freaking good. All right, there's another aspect to this game, and that is a cutscene that we've seen where Mystique saves Wolverine. I don't know if you guys have seen this cutscene.
Oh, God.
You gonna do this or should I?
Okay. About time you caught up. Where's Sabretooth?
He's sleeping off his fight with a Mega Red.
Is that John DiMaggio?
It's Wolverine.
Also, are they aware that Wolverine is bulletproof? Do they understand what it means to have an adamantium coated skeleton? Okay, I am not opposed to having a male character saved by a female character just on the principle of it. That is totally fine. But the fact that we even have Sweet Baby Inc. involved in this and the way that was shot was completely fucking ridiculous. He was not in a vulnerable situation there. They did that purely to show, look how great this female character is. We're going to to have one up over on this totally badass male character. They're just doing it to emasculate the male character here. This is just fucking ridiculous and exactly what I would expect from something like Sweet Baby Inc.
The only way I can see where the Wolverine was just expecting her to show up was when he first said, "Am I gonna do this or you?" Now I don't know the context before that, right? We don't know what's happening before that, so I'm wondering if he's talking to Mystique there, say hello, are you gonna do something or am I gonna do it? That's the only thing I can think of, but otherwise it's kind of stupid. And everyone in the comments are saying it. He literally has a body that's bulletproof, he's kind of immortal at that point, and he's just waiting for them. What?
Right.
Okay,
right.
I have a take, and I will delve a little bit into characterization. As a reminder, Wolverine has hypersenses. He smelled Mystique was right there. His attitude, and there's he's just sitting there on his knees while she's fighting and kicking everybody's ass. he did know that she was there. If going on the assumption that they're going to stay true to the character with his hyperactive senses, he smelled her. He knew she was there. So that does lend credence to what you were saying, Lads, where he was saying, like, are you going to do this or am I? But as, like, he may have been referring to talking to Mystique because he knew she was there. But we don't know. She goes on the attack, and you notice at the end, he's just like, as she's like flipping around and kicking ass,
He's just waiting.
he's following her. He's following her with his head, and he's kind of chill. And until finally the last guy is like crawling over, he pops his claws through his head. I will kind of do a gimme here and say, okay, that could have just been a moment where he's just like, okay, Mystique, take care of my light work. He knew she was there. He knew what she was going to do. He's like, all right, Mystique, take care of my light work and take these guys out. I will allow that as being a possibility for that scene.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing, Amber. Is it Mystique or is it Mr. over here?
Mystique.
Oh my God, that's cursed.
Or his steak over here. These are good questions. Yes.
Yeah, the character model for Mystique was not good.
Sorry, that needs to be in all thumbnails moving ahead right there. That's good. It's ma'am, damn it. Well, there you go. A little bit of Wolverine talk. I'll tell you this, Amber, are you going to pick up the Wolverine game for PlayStation coming up really soon?
I will. I can't because I don't have a PlayStation hooked up for my stream. If I picked it up, it'd be for stream, and I don't have the PlayStation for my streaming setup. So,
okay,
probably not.